Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm shooting from Vilcabamba, Ecuador, and I just want to say thank you so much for all the birthday love. I got a flood of emails and Facebook messages yesterday and even some video messages, and that means a lot to me that people reached out and said happy birthday. You know, it really makes me feel special, so thanks a lot, guys. To celebrate, I actually had a San Pedro ceremony with some people last night or 2 nights ago on my birthday, and it was a full moon ceremony as well, which is cool. The moon was like really bright, and it started around 9 p.m. and it went till the next day around noon. And it was a really small group, like only 4 other people, and then the female shaman. And yeah, it was a really good experience for me to have on that night because, you know, I felt like I was reborn. You know, being that it was my birthday, I felt like a new person. And I really liked it because I had a lot of like powerful realizations about my life and relationships especially. And you know, I thought about my mom at first. You know, I really went through and re-examined that relationship with my mom, and being that it was my birthday, you know, like 37 years ago, she had to carry me 9 months in her womb and then go through a long, laborious, painful, you know, birthing. And you know, she's cared for me ever since then. And you know, that's probably the most important female relationship in my life right now, you know. So, you know, I thought about my mom and just, you know, I'm really grateful for her, and I love you, Mom. And then, you know, I went to a different part of the area where the ceremony was held, and I sat under the big, tall San Pedro cacti. And San Pedro is also called Wachuma. It's called the grandfather medicine because the love is very gentle, like a grandfather. And, you know, I sat under there because I wanted to think about my father and just remember him. And you know, I just thought about my childhood, my relationship with my dad, and you know, he raised me, but also he raised my 2 brothers. My one brother, Jeff, he's only like 2 years younger than me, and then Andy's 6 years younger. So, you know, my dad had me when he was like, I think 24, 25, which was really young. And you know, he raised 3 boys, and that's a lot of work, man. I don't think I would be able to do that. You know, like that's a lot to take on. So, you know, I give my dad a lot of credit, and you know, he took care of us. He put a roof over our head, and he put food on our table. He put us all through college. So, you know, Dad, thanks a lot for everything that you've done for us. You know, I really appreciate you. So yeah, so you know, those are really 2 powerful things that I thought about. And then, you know, I just continued on this journey of looking at my other relationships in my life. And you know, in the past 3 years, I've met a lot of awesome people, and specifically, I've met a lot of women out there. And I'm not talking about like romantic relationships. I'm talking about like female friendships. And you know, I really enjoy the women that are in my life because they bring that divine feminine energy for me. And for me, that's very nurturing. And you know, I can connect with women on different levels, like emotional and sharing feelings. And I realize that for me, it's important that I get that out, because as a guy, sometimes, you know, we bottle stuff up inside. And for me to have, you know, women to talk to when I'm going through a rough time, you know, that's taught me a lot in the past couple years, you know. So, you know, so thank you for all the women out there that have come into my life, and you know, it means a lot that, you know, we could be friends. And then I also thought about, you know, being that I was thinking about women, I thought about, you know, what is it that I'm looking for in a partner, because I'm still single, and you know, I haven't been really trying to jump into any relationships in the past couple years, because I've just been trying to like work on myself internally. But now that I kind of know what I want, what I'm looking for in a woman, you know, I've kind of like gotten down my core values that I'm looking for. And you know, I would say they're probably like, I want someone who's conscious, who's open-minded, who lives a healthy lifestyle, likes to travel, and wants to continue growing as a person, because you know, those are things that I value, and I think those are like my non-negotiables for what I'm looking for in a partner. And because you know, if I had to date someone who's not like that, I think there's going to be, you know, a lot of friction there. So that's, you know, I got a lot of clarity as to like what I'm looking for going forward, because I definitely want to settle down. I definitely want to have kids, not anytime soon, but you know, like in order for me to have a family, I need to have, you know, I need to have a partner. So I have to start like taking baby steps. But besides that, you know, I was also thinking about my male relationships, my friends with my relationship with my other guy friends. And you know, for me, that's really important as well, because you know, I need to connect with other guys on a deeper level. You know, I don't really get much out of those surface level relationships. Like some guys, they can talk about sports all day, or you know, stuff like that. And for me, that just doesn't do it for me. So, you know, I need to be around guys that have the same beliefs, values, same outlook on life. And You know, I'm really happy and really grateful to have met other guys in my life in the past 3 years, and some of these guys, you know, I can call brothers, and you know, that's important for me to have that brotherhood with other men to lean on and to support and go on this journey called life. So yeah, so that was you know, pretty much like, I think for me, like, because the moon was so bright, I used like that light and I used it to re-examine all the relationships in my life, and I walked away with having a really like renewed sense of appreciation and gratitude for all the relationships, because I realized that, you know, some people don't have these deeper connections with other people, and they go through life, you know, alone and without the support. And for me, like, you know, my life hasn't been perfect, but you know what, through a lot of my life, I've had a lot of friends and family, you know, support me throughout my 37 years. And you know, that's made life a whole lot easier to go through and more enjoyable. So yeah, this ceremony for me, that's probably the biggest thing I walked away with, is just having a renewed perspective on relationships, why I cherish them, and what I look for in ones going forward. So yeah, it was a good birthday, you know, a really good birthday gift for me. And you know, other than that, I've been in Vilcabamba for like 2 weeks now. It's actually really beautiful here. As you can tell, I live like 15 minutes from town. I'm up in the mountains. I'm staying at an Airbnb, a little casita, which is also like a small cottage. You know, it's 2 floors. I got my own balcony. I don't know if you can hear the river, but the river is like right in front of me, and then it's overlooking the mountains. And yeah, I'm staying with the Dutch Chinese family, and it's cool because, you know, they're in their early 40s and they have 4 beautiful children, and they have their own piece of property. They got their own house. They have their mother live there as well, and then they rent out the 3rd place, and no one else is there. And they have a garden, and they grow their own vegetables. And I just see that as like a blueprint for what I want to create in the future when it comes to settling down. You know, they're doing it in a sustainable way. They live in a very purposeful, intentional lifestyle. And you know, they're just really healthy, happy, and a balanced version of what I envision of what a family is. And that's, you know, I told the guy Kambo, he's like what I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. So yeah, so it's been cool to stay with them. I have, you know, it's just really quiet. I can think. I've been able to really process these experiences for the last month or so of the different medicine ceremonies. So yeah, it's just, I've been doing a lot of writing, and that's what I want to talk about next. What is it that I've been working on the past couple of weeks, and why did I come down to Ecuador this year? So, you know, I've been working on the next 6 to 12 months vision of what I want to create in this world and how I want to change society. And one of the things that I've noticed is the state of male masculinity in the US and in the modern world. It's very unbalanced right now, and these are just really immature and healthy versions of what it is to be a man. And a book that was pretty insightful for me was a book called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Dr. Robert Moore. And I read that when I was back in Bali, and it talks about the 4 archetypes. This has been researched by Carl Jung, one of the more famous psychologists. And he said that in all men, we have these 4 archetypes that are in us subconsciously. And you know, a lot of times we don't have balanced versions of all 4 of them going on inside of us, and that's why we have a lot of problems. So if you're able to get in touch and get in touch with like the king energy, the warrior energy, and mix it with like the lover energy, you know, that's a more well-rounded modern man. And so yeah, it really got me thinking to like, how has that applied to me in the past 3 years of my journey, and how I've been able to like transform my life and my internal outlook and perspective on myself. So yeah, so that really opened up my eyes. And then I saw, when I was in Sweden back in July, my friend Gabriel, we watched a documentary, and it was called The Mask You Live In, and it came out in 2014. It's on Netflix. Definitely check it out. It talks about society in the US and male masculinity, and how we program young boys at a very young age with this really messed up image or belief system of what it is to be a boy and what it is to be a man. And things like, you know, boys don't cry, you know, men don't show emotions or feelings, you know, stop being a sissy, man up. You know, those are all really messed up ways of trying to be a man. And it's just not, you know, things like sports, the media, movies, all this mass media programming, we put that onto guys, and we say, wear this mask of being a tough guy. And the same thing goes for women, you know, like women, you know, you're only supposed to wear pink and play with dolls and stuff like that. And it's just really, it's not healthy. And if you look at, there's studies out there, if you look at boys when they're very young, they're actually more emotional, more caring, more sweet than girls are. You know, they like to like hug you and say, I love you, mommy. You know, these are things that boys are naturally, that are innate in boys. And then we somehow program boys and tell them to hide that stuff. And then that ends up being, you know, bottled up emotions. It comes out in drinking and fighting, you know, it's other unhealthy behavior. And guys are looking for outlets for manhood. So that's what I want to help fix in society, because, you know, I think a lot of, you look at like athletes or actors or like reality TV shows, and you guys, you have these CEOs and politicians that are grown-ass men, but they're acting like little immature boys. And you know, this behavior just gets perpetuated in society and goes from generation to generation. We're not changing any of this behavior. So I really want to fix that problem. And one of the things that I've been working on the past couple of weeks here is trying to create this vision of how I want to fix this problem. And that's why I came to work, that's why I came to Ecuador this year to really, one of my big intentions was to really help manifest this dream of mine of how to actually fix this. And in the past 2 weeks, I've created a website of what I want to do. So basically what I want to do is I want to create a 10 to 12 day retreat, one based in Thailand and one based in South America. And I want to like, all the things that I've done in the last 3 years, I want to incorporate that into the retreat. So things like martial arts, like Muay Thai, BJJ, plant medicines such as Ayahuasca, San Pedro, Kambo, meditation, travel, and online entrepreneurship. I want to combine these 3 experiences and have little workshops throughout the 10 days and really share with guys and teach them, you know, how I've been able to use experiences, how they can go on their own hero's journey and transform their lives, their relationships, and their business, and, you know, find fulfillment and meaning. And, you know, I'd want to do like day-to-day workshops. I'm also putting together like a circle of elders, other guys that I look up to, other role models that I think are healthy embodiments of a modern man. So I've put together, you know, in the last 3 or 4 days, I actually bought the website and I've just been cranking on it. So yeah, that's, I'm getting more clarity and focus of what I really want to create. And I think that is my way of how I really want to impact and change the world, specifically younger men in the US. So, you know, I've met other travelers here and other friends, and I've kind of like thrown this idea around, and I've actually got a lot of positive feedback. You know, even on this trip to Ecuador, people reached out to me like, hey Chris, next time you go and work with the shamans or take medicine, you know, let me know, I'd love to join you. So, you know, I'd want to do that like within the next 6 months to 12 months. And I'd keep it real small, you know, 5 to 10 people. And yeah, you know, I've done 4 retreats now. I did a meditation retreat and 3 medicine retreats. And, you know, I think I have a pretty good idea of what it takes to run a retreat, you know, what are the small things that make a difference, and how to give the most value. So yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. I've been putting a lot of creative energy into it. I'll share it in the hopefully next couple of weeks, next month. But it's gonna be a lot of work. You know, I'm helping lead a retreat in Bali later in October, and you know, they have a whole team of people doing all the marketing and the behind the scenes stuff, and you know, it's a lot of work. So for me, I'm just one guy right now, and I got to start putting the platform in place and getting the right team together so I can make this a reality. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been working the last couple weeks and the last month of what I've been doing. Oh yeah, I also had last week at a Kambo session, well, 3 ceremonies. It's with the frog venom. They burned holes into me. So Kambo is, it's the poison secretion taken from the frog in the Amazon. They burn holes in you, and then they peel the skin back, and then they put the poison in there, and that's when you start the purging process. So for me, I did 4 points on my arm the first day. The second day, I got 6 points on my heart chakra, so 1 on my center of my chest, and then 5 on the back. And then the last day, I got 9 points, and that was for a liver cleanse. And I did 5 points on my calf, and then another 4 points on the arm. And yeah, the reason why I wanted to work with Kambo this year was because that's probably one of the other big reasons why I came down here, was because it's a big detoxing purging process. It's not so much hallucinogenic. It has no psychoactive substances in there. But you know, I wanted to work with it because I've been doing a lot of research about it, and it seemed like it was appropriate for where I am in my journey. And you know, it dates back to indigenous tribes, and they would give it to the hunters before they would go hunting. They get a lot of strength, they don't get tired, they don't need to eat a lot. Their immune system is boosted, they have really good vision. And I feel like for me, I wanted to get as many allies on my side to really help me create this vision of what I want to do in the world. So, you know, they said that, you know, it helps clear panacea, you know, like laziness or bad luck. and they say like, you know, it can really help you with doors opening up and getting your life in alignment with your beliefs and values. So that was one of the big reasons why I wanted to work with Kambo, and also, you know, just the purging process, the detoxifying part of it. You know, I puked every time, and that's a big part of it. I didn't puke as much as I thought it would be. Some people have a really bad reaction because you are poisoning yourself. But, you know, I asked the facilitator afterwards, and he said, you know, because I'm living pretty clean diet, I've done a lot of inner work, I didn't have a lot of stuff to puke out. So I would say the last day was probably the most puke I had. It was really green, yellow. It was like that nasty, deep bile coming out from my liver, which is a good thing because, you know, that flushes everything out. And that day I felt fine. You know, I had a really clear, peaceful sense of mind after that. But, you know, it really wasn't as nightmarish as I thought it would be. I shot video blogs of that and video footage. I'll share that in the next couple of weeks as well. But yeah, I'd highly recommend it to anyone who's worked with medicines. Do your research on it and see if that appeals to you. So yeah, I have another week here in Ecuador, and then I fly back to New York. I'll be there for 8 or 9 days to see my family, who I really miss a lot. And then it's back to Chiang Mai on September 6th after Labor Day. So yeah, it's been a really cool time out here. I have so much content I want to share, and you know, I'm really looking forward to creating a lot of cool stuff later on this year. So I'll talk to you guys later. Much love. Peace.